Welcome to Does It Matter by Brainy Ballers, where we dissect the game with cutting-edge analytics to give you the upper hand. We analyze everything from hand sizes to average depth of targets to uncover hidden trends that no one else sees. Say goodbye to guesswork and hello to data-driven domination. Because here at Brainy Ballers, we don't just watch the game, we understand it. So get ready, it's podcast time.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take your notes, your sources, and turn them into pure, actionable knowledge.
Right, and the mission here, it's pretty crucial for prospect evaluation we're trying to figure out. Is breaking tackles in college actually a non-negotiable for elite fantasy success?
Or is it just a luxury stat?
Exactly. Does it actually translate to week-to-week consistency?
So our methodology, we were pretty rigorous. We looked at each player's top college MTF season.
Their best year, yeah. And we compared the guys who finished in the fantasy top 10 against what we call the bottom 10, so the 41st to 50th place guys.
And right away, right out of the gate, we hit this massive statistical paradox.
Oh, it was wild.
Yeah.
And frankly, pretty damning for the metric at first glance.
Yeah.
The broad averages showed that lower MTF seasons coincided with higher fantasy scores in the NFL.
That is just wild. We were talking about 6 out of 7 seasons. That's what, like 85.7% of the time?
The top 5 fantasy finishers had lower MTF rates than those middle-of-the-road guys, the 31st to 50th place finishers.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Why would less physicality equal more fantasy points? It feels backwards.
It does. But I think it forces us to acknowledge that the truly elite fantasy tight ends, they probably rely more on specialized technical traits.
Separation, route running, earning targets.
Exactly. Superior separation skills, just getting open, achieving that volume. It's not necessarily about that raw, brute physicality to shed tacklers.
So the raw volume number itself was kind of a red herring.
A total red herring. So we had to pivot our focus entirely.
Right. So instead of looking for the tight end who broke the most tackles.
Yeah, that wasn't the goal anymore.
We shifted from tracking maximum volume to just finding an optimal threshold.
We wanted to know, what is the minimum physical bar a player needs to clear, even if racking up 10 more MTFs after that is, meaningless.
Okay, so what did you find?
And that search, it led us to a really clear, definitive benchmark. We found that adjusting the range...
Do you want to start dominating your drafts? At BrainyBallers.com, we've researched every metric under the sun for you to find which ones are best linked to fantasy points. You can access hundreds of metrics to sharpen your scouting abilities so you know which metrics matter and which are just noise. Stop guessing on which thresholds to look for within each metric. Big numbers can be misleading or irrelevant. Our Ultimate Athlete Blueprints reveal essential scouting metrics, their importance, and benchmarks within each metric that help predict a player's probability of being a success or bust. Elevate your scouting ability with Brainy Ballers' Ultimate Athlete Blueprints today. Click the link in the description. Now back to the show.
4 MTF and above in a tight end's top college season.
Just 4.
Just 4. That produced a really striking 22.3% higher top 10 appearance rate than the guys who failed to clear that bar.
Wow. So 4 is the magic number. It's the sweet spot.
It seems to be, yeah. It signals that foundational requisite physicality.
Okay, that 4+ threshold feels really actionable. But if the volume is so misleading, what happens when you run the final, the definitive statistical correlation test?
We had to do it. We ran the numbers for a statistical reality check looking for a Pearson value.
And just for everyone listening, a Pearson value basically tells you how closely two things move together.
Right, and the MTF correlation confirms there is virtually no linear correlation between just stacking up high MTF numbers and your future fantasy production.
Can you put that number in context?
Think about a metric we all debate in scouting, like QB draft capital. That registers around negative 0.219. 0.004 is just statistically insignificant in comparison.
So let's boil it all down. What does this all mean for you when you're tracking prospects?
The conclusion, I think, is really clear. MTF matters, but only as a threshold.
Not as a volume predictor.
Not at all. Don't chase the big number. It's a clean, practical filter if you're torn between 2 prospects. Favor the player who clears that 4+ MTF bar. That tells you they have the fundamental physicality.
But, and this is a big but.
A huge but. Remember that 0.004 Pearson value. If one guy has 4 MTF and another has 14, you absolutely should not choose the 14 MTF guy based on that metric alone.
Use it to read people out, not to crown a winner.
Precisely. Use it to eliminate the physically insufficient, not to elevate the volume king.
That brings us to our final thought for you to chew on. Since the elite fantasy tight ends seem to rely more on route running and separation than raw tackle breaking.
Yeah.
Consider how often analysts prioritize those raw athleticism metrics over technical skill when they're assessing college guys.
And how often that initial bias might lead all of us to overlook potential top-level producers.
Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us.